So I just want to show this game because it kind of just looks like what a typical game would look like for Nightwatch on Lakeside. So if you've seen my spawn select video, you know this is what I told you guys to do. Just spawn here and go for the rescue. It happens to be Efron, which is really good because Efron is really chaseable. I used my wind a little early here. I should have used it a little bit later. But it ended up working out, so that's fine. He's really good with his smoke, actually. So it took me a while to get him here. It took me so long to actually find him. I was just going off by sound because I couldn't really see him. I get the down right here though. Or the hit. I get the hit. So something to note is that whenever you're winding someone, you want to angle it so you're always pulling them back as straight as possible. So try not to have your wind be pulling at an angle, otherwise it will be pulling at full force. And they'll be going faster than they should be. So here, I see that everyone's decoding, so I just go harass the closest person to me, which happens to be this one. I again make the same mistake by using my wind too fast. If he had thrown that pallet, it would have been really bad for me, because I would not have been able to vault it. So I go back to stop the rescue, and I see him running back as I'm going, and I notice that Composer's no longer decoding, so he has to be here. I didn't notice him at the rock, however, so he just got the full rescue, but again, I just get easy down with that. So it kind of sucks because he almost was after half, but not quite. I see the Perfumer and the Composer both decoding, and then I just saw the Embalmer running across my screen, so I, at this point, now know that everyone is decoding. That frees me up to go for the Embalmer that's already been hit. Here, pallet mind games, I make him think I'm going one way and I go back. So here it's a little annoying because he's going to embalm, but I'm going to do something really cheeky. And you'll see that in just a second. So he positioned his coffin right next to the window, so what I actually do to block him off is I walk around beforehand and I jump it so I can just wind him and he has to go to the other window, which makes it so he basically doesn't have enough time. Unless he got that flower off, which he did not. Now I know the Perfumer's gonna come for the save, and I'm where she's gonna come from because she popped her safer over there. Try to do some mind games. It does not work. She ends up winning out a little bit. But that's okay. I check for the Prime Cipher. So here, I thought they actually got an unlucky pop, but looking at the recording, I can now see that he just didn't have borrowed time. So it wouldn't have been anyway. Now, when I chase this Perfumer, it's pretty greedy. Looking back now, I shouldn't have done that. I'm just wasting too much time and resources. That warp especially was such an overcommitment. So I just go back and share him. And I don't take the warp back, in case you guys are wondering, in case I need to take it back when I'm chasing Perfumer. But I saw her running across my screen to go to shore, so I can just follow her there. Now here, I got pretty lucky. Dungeon was not here. If it had been here, she would have got the tie, and it would have been deserved, because, again, chasing her in the beginning was a mistake. Here, I'm going around instead of breaking that pallet, because she wants to go into Big Boat for a good transition, and I don't want to let her do that. And right now, because it's endgame, I have 50 seconds on my detention, I can just take my time. There's no reason to rush it, dungeon's not near me. she's not gonna make it. I just don't get pallet hit, and I win the game. So I take my time and just let her use those pallets. And that's game. I think part of the struggle of being hunter is knowing when to be greedy and when not to be greedy. It's definitely just kind of a risk versus reward thing. Here's a game where my greed actually pays off, and it ends up with an easy. So just going for the professor first. He gets a very clean scale out. Notice here that I'm still winding him even though he palleted and he's running away. The wind has a lot more distance than you think it will. Again, using impulsive with my speed token. Gets huge distance, got that hit because of it. More mind games. I love IDD mind games. And he just goes down here. His scales have like I think the longest cooldown in the game. There's such a long cooldown. Well, long ability cooldown for a survivor. And it's like, I think it's not even close. The only thing that might be comparable is like Wildling Lore, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. I don't know why they haven't buffed Lucino. I feel like he needs a buff. I feel like it should counter more things, honestly. But I mean, yeah. Anyway, you can see that his ability comes up right now. His cooldown is so long that I just thought that, like, he would still be up. But it just came back up, so he got another good scale off. But you're gonna see it doesn't really matter. Even with that pallet stun, there's really nowhere for him to go. He doesn't have flywheel, he doesn't have scale, he just kind of dies. So I don't know what this Embomber's doing. I think he's lagging. I don't know. I have to just assume that was lag. Spoiler, that doesn't really impact the flow of the game at all. It just is what it is kind of thing. I break that so he can't run to it. You're gonna see here I wait for the scale and then I hit him. And right here is when I'm getting greedy. I want to go for the extra hit on Priestess, because I can. Here's when I get even more greedy, when I want to go for the down on Priestess. And it paid off, it worked. She's down, he's not going to self-heal. And now it's just really hard for me, because 2 ciphers, and one of them is barely started. The other hasn't been started at all, and now Luca has to come for the save. So I'm actually going to this chair instead of the one that was right in front of me, because it's harder to save from, and there's less to go to once you get saved. So my Tinnitus is up. I'm just looking for him, just trying to cut him off. I'm checking ciphers and all that. I see him through the window, and he doesn't use a shock, surprisingly. He resets hit recovery, which, I mean, I didn't need, but it's always nice, thank you. I appreciate that. And now it's just pretty easy cleanup from here. Only one alive is Embomber, just chair guard, he's half, he can't really do anything, no coffin, no nothing. Now the only thing notable that happens left in this game is that I am able to wind him through a wall. I'm gonna put up the visual that I made last time for this. So, even though he's on the other side of the wall, I can still wind him. It'll still go through the wall. And you can see I actually get the down because of it. And I kinda wanna just show you from his perspective, so you can see both sides and what it kinda looks like for both of us. So you can see, so you saw me go around the wall, but he's still getting slowed down. And it doesn't look like it should work, but it is something that works, weirdly enough. But yeah, good game. So, in your game, it's generally important to check the ciphers to see who's decoding. Mostly when you put people on chairs, but it's always good practice, just see it every now and then. It's a lot easier to do in spawn select, because you know where they spawn, so you know where they're going to rotate to, or what cipher they're going to start at. In general, when you do that, you see who's going to come for the rescue, and it's a lot easier to cut them off and stop the save, which again is one of the two biggest ways Nightwatches win games. So here, you're going to see me get the hit, and I'm going to use my warp to get a double hit, actually. So right now, I wait until he doesn't have anywhere to go, and I just warp right on top of him, and I get that easy down. You can see right here, I already start checking for ciphers, and I can just hear the one above me too. Once again, I'm looking for ciphers. See middle stops decoding, and I immediately go to see where she's going to come out from. I notice her up above the hole. She gets a good flywheel off, but then she gets too greedy for that vault. Ends up getting terror shocked. Unfortunate. So now you can see we're in a really, really good position here. Can you see the Auntie's coming? She left probably as soon as she got downed. Some good smacks there. Doesn't get the body block off though, and I just get the instant down on Norton. I try and get a hit on Auntie so that she's already injured for later, but she gets a good flywheel, so it's not a big deal, and I just go back to Norton. Obviously I'm going to go for Perfumer. She's already been chaired, and Perfumer that's been injured doesn't really have much to connect with. Get that easy down, and I go to a really good chair over here. It's one of my favorite chairs on this map. It's my second favorite chair. That's weird. I have an order of chairs in this map apparently that I didn't know about until now. Oh, you can see Magician. He didn't get his flywheel off like the other two did. Didn't get the save. Surprised he got that off actually. I didn't think he would. I just want to try and down him here if I can. I predict him going the wrong way, but that's okay. I don't want to get too greedy for it, especially because I think Auntie is here now. That was a super risky grab, but it's okay. I'm goated. I don't get hit. So now, from here, it's a pretty easy win. There's no cipher that's really started, and they're injured. I just get the quick down on her, and now I have to look for Magician. And honestly, there's really not much else to see for this game, so I'll just put it at a faster speed for the rest of it. The only notable thing that I do here is that I'm gonna warp on to where I think Jin might be, so I can try and get Tinnitus. Because when you're warping a long distance, your Tinnitus will pop up even if they're next to you in your warp form. If that makes sense. Getting the 4K versus the 3K in rank doesn't do anything except give you one more point. Honestly, I probably should have just surrendered as soon as the Antiquarian died and just saved myself the hassle. I just surrender right here because it's just not worth it. That's okay though. Yeah, good game. So today I played a game where by all means it should have been a loss, but I ended up clutching out a tie. So I just wanted to record this video and just tell you guys my thought process and what I was thinking during that, so maybe it'll help you guys turn any losses into a win in the future. I normally would chase the Meteorologist, but I didn't immediately see her, and I kind of want to try something new anyway, so I went for the Merc in the middle. I'm not sneaky, however, and he immediately left, so just grabbing an extra wind just because I know I'm not going to need it anytime soon, so I'd rather get the token instead. I break that because it's a very loopable palette. If I don't break it now, it's going to bite me in the ass very soon. First, elbow pad, just to get some distance to a good palette. I don't break it because I know I can force another elbow pad or hit. I forced an elbow pad. Same thing is gonna happen right here. At this point, the kite's not going super well. I warp for a hit, but it looks like he gets on tram. He doesn't actually get on tram. Slight harass. So now I'm just thinking like, oh wow, okay. I mean, this is bad, but this is salvageable. Until I walk up to the tram and tinnitus goes away and I realize he didn't ever get on the tram, and now he's being healed. So, you know, at this point, I'm pretty fuming right now. I'm mad. But, you know, I just calm myself down and realize it's still tieable if I play well enough from here on out. So I want to point out that I originally came back for the Merc, right? Because he didn't have any items. He has the delayed hit, which is kind of annoying, but it's fine. Then I see the meteorologist, and I realize, hey, she's right here, I can go for her instead. Because if I try and go for the Merc, she's just gonna harass anyway. And she's already used some of her bottle. So I'd rather just go for her. Because it's not like Merc's been chaired anyway, right? And get the down. Archer is here to harass. I unfortunately don't let her. And so the reason I'm not going to chair over there where I'm looking is because Archer ran over there and she could still be gearing up to shoot me, so I go over here instead, so I can't get a shot. I thought they were trying to pull a little sneaky sneak. So here I'm going to chair her in a really bad chair for survivors. This is an amazing chair for hunters. I know there's only one person that can save, and that's the entomologist. And lo and behold, there she is. Now I get the suck off. And the pop, very predictable, but that's fine. I'm using wind. She messes up flywheel, and I get the hit. Now right here, you can see her in the background. I was actually looking for her. That's not a coincidence. So I know where she's running. And my warp is up. This is why I love warp, because you can warp wherever you want. I kind of fucked up the warp just a little. I dash through her bees. And I get the hit. And that's a down. I chair her over here. So I picked this chair because I thought that the meteorologist would have run to the left over by here. It turns out I was wrong, which you'll see in a second. That's why I picked that chair over the one that was closer, though. Now I see her down over here, so I grab her. So here I have a decision on where I can chair her. I can chair her in graveyard, or I can chair her where her second chair was. Now, where I go actually depends a lot on if Entomologist gets saved or not. So, if Entomologist did not get saved, I was gonna go over to the rocket chair in graveyard so I could go defend her chair. But, because she did get saved, I'm gonna go put her on the other chair to the left, because I'm just going to make a straight dash for the other gate. Even though they have a head start, I'm faster and they have to go around. There's a good chance I can still catch up. Just using the wind to get 2 tokens. I see them over there on the right. Now here, when I suck, I want to make sure I don't get the Merc. Any of the other two, though, I don't care who I grab. I'm just forcing them out, so there's no way they can save. And yeah, that's game. That is how I squeezed out a tie out of a almost guaranteed loss. I spawned top left, and if you've seen my spawn select video, that is par for the course of what I said you should do. Especially since there is a lucky guy here who is very, very chaseable in my opinion. Don't quite know what he has yet, so a little scared. Turns out it's just elbow pads. He got unlucky with his item, which is good for us. Hit him, he runs, nothing too special. In a sec, you're going to see that his trail stops in a very conspicuous spot, which tells me he's definitely behind the pallet. I don't know what that feeling was that I just did. He should be down, but I kind of fucked that up, so. It's fine though, he goes down right here, and all is good. A little bit of wasted wind, but that's okay as well. So here, there are two ways for Nightwatch to mostly primarily win games. One, cheeky endgame, and two, cutting off survivors going for rescue. Which is what you see me doing here. I'm trying to look for the Merc who is saving. And I found him, but it's definitely not going to be able enough to down him before. I pull him through the window, and I'm just assuming that was a misclick because, you know, what else would that be? Oh, and then there I just hit him for extra presence. I got full presence, which is huge for Nightwatch. You love to see it. His first presence is okay, but his second presence is where it's at. Getting 2 wins for 1 ability, that's cracked. Once again, you're just going to see me look for whoever's coming for the rescue. Tinnitus went up, went out, so I went back. And they had a bit of miscommunication there. They should have ran the same way so Priestess could take a hit, but they did not. And I don't know if you see that, but in the background you can see the Merc. Instead of going for him, I decided to chase for someone else who's a lot easier and doesn't have pads plus the delayed hit. I didn't immediately go through that because sometimes Priestesses like to be cheeky and go right back through it again and put you on the other side, isolated. I saved my win so I could pull, but I ended up not being able to do that. I still get the extra hit though. Impulsive is goated. End up not getting the hit there because Impulsive sucks. So, not worth. Get the wind before I drop down. Lets me get her hit. And easy dubs. So, tonight is up. Someone is definitely already around. I know it's prone, it just doesn't really matter. Unlucky hit, but that's okay. I got it down right here. Now, right here, I'm about to get some extra wind, which is massive, because right now I know I have Warp Up, and Merc was just here, so he definitely won't make it to gate on time. And I'm gonna need those extra wins. So I see him pad over. I know he has one left. I dash to him. Dash again. He uses his last pad. I use my last win, but it's enough for me to grab him. I hit him, and then you're gonna see I just dash over before he can get to the gate, and I down him, and that will be game. Well, I mean, I pressure the Pharaoh Lady out, so there's no chance that they can save, but then it's game. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys still have any questions about anything that I did, ask in the comments and I'll reply. Thank you. So that had a bit of an unusual spawn this time. So what I did was just spawn top right and go for whoever spawned below me and chase them into graveyard, which happened to be Knight, which I'm usually a fan of. But this Knight was actually pretty good. He got most of his helmets off with good use. Just a bit of ring around the rosy. Normally Knights like to do a double hit, so I thought he probably did the same, but I got played and he did not do that. Part of the reason I like Impulsive is because of how good it is against Knight. It's good against anyone, but Knights in particular. Knights you can use it to your advantage because often enough you can use a win token to speed yourself up, and in combination with Impulsive long hitting you can get quite the distance and usually end up hitting him before he helmets. Finally, I use my wind correctly in a video. You see I used it right before I hopped the window, so I could vault the pallet with the same wind token. And right there is kind of what I was talking about, right? You use a speed token, and at the same time you long hit, and you get massive distance with Impulsive. Here I just suck the Seer and I get a hit forcing the early rescue, which is pretty massive. Again, using Impulsive, I'm telling you guys, Impulsive is so goated. It's so good. Right here, I could not see the lucky guy. I fucking panic dropped that. That was not calculated. That was a panic drop that just worked out. Also, if you notice, they got some sick Cypher Rush going because both Lucky Guy and Mechanic have a bot. I don't know how they worked it out with what bot goes where, but I know it went crazy hard. Oh, fun fact, I don't know if people know this, but your wind can go around walls. So I don't know if you guys noticed that, but my wind, I angled it at the Knight before he was even within my vision range, so it still slowed him down even though, like, I couldn't see him per se. I hope that makes sense. Ah, fuck it, I'm just gonna put MS Paint fucking picture in the top left like I did for that last video. So here, I went for Seer, which I worked for Seer. I think that was a mistake, because now I won't have the warp up for endgame, and even though I get him off the Cypher, I don't think it's worth it, because now Lucky Guy's just there anyway, so I probably should have saved it just to keep it for endgame. It's already primed and Seer gets saved, so I'm just waiting for cooldowns. The only thing I get out of hitting Lucky Guy right now and forcing the pop is that Mechanic just saved Seer. So I know they're both not by the door, and they'd have to both run across the map and start opening the door, and that might give me some time to catch up. But it's also mech, and even though I destroyed her bot, I don't know how much she used. She could have just placed the bot at the gate and is waiting for there. She only needs like 2% to fully do the gate. So I just assume she has bot. Like, watching the video, you know she doesn't have bot, but you can't know that in the middle of the game. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just farming up win tokens and waiting for my warp cooldown to be done. So that is what I'm doing. He's just waiting around. And in a second you'll see some funny business going on. I guess he didn't know this, but when you're opening and closing a chest, you can get terror shocked. Now that won't happen if you're looking through it, but while you're specifically opening and closing it, you can get terror shocked. And I guess he just didn't know that. So I terror shock him, and I just put him on the chick because there's no one else there to pop, right? Mech's coming by herself, and I'm assuming Seer is standing by the gate. I should have hit her sooner than that. I hesitated because I was wondering if I should terror shock or not. But, yeah, that was a mistake to wait a little bit to hit. My warp isn't quite up yet. That's okay. I have 4 dash tokens that I can use. And I see the scratch marks, I'm looking for them again, and he's in a chest again. So, what a game. What a game that was. So, harassers are Nightwatch's biggest weakness, in my opinion. And although this game only had one harasser, I just kind of wanted to talk about how to deal with harassers as Nightwatch. And honestly, I think most hunters have the same general strategy as well. So I start off chasing the journalist because she's who spawned in this area, and I love kiting people in this area. She uses a puppet, and I hit that low-key. Even watching it back, I still think that should have hit her, but you know, it's okay. She's gearing up to use a camera, and honestly with journalists, you kind of just want to suck them and wait for the Orphe to go away. So here, I know it looks like my warp cooldown was up, but I swear to God it wasn't. I don't know why it's doing that, but I was just standing there waiting for my warp cooldown to be over. So she just drops down and panic pops an Orphe. So I just win. I just wait for her to fuck herself on that, and then I get an insta down. So I'm looking for ciphers. I notice Batter Cipher isn't moving, so now I'm just looking for Batter. Oh, and I see some scratch marks, and now I want to try and look for him again, and I know where he's coming from. I actually see Batter himself. Boom, and then he flywheels. Decent dodges. Missed the hit. Just got a hit here. And then you're going to see in a sec, instead of going for the journalist, I actually down the Batter, because you're going to find that it's really hard to down people if there's someone harassing you. So more often than not, you're usually just going to go straight for the harasser instead of the person you're trying to go for. And again, there I suck, and her Orphe was useless, and now she doesn't have anything. So Batter gets up, and I try and suck him. I don't quite get it off, but it's okay, because he misses again. I don't think he hits one of those the whole game. But now he's down, and I'm not going to pick him up, because he already used the self-heal. So there's no point to pick him up anymore. So even though she's trying to body block, hitting the psychologist doesn't really do anything. She's not going to go down, and it's not like she can harass like a Batter can. So I just go for the journalist. And now I just try and get the Batter down again because he can't self-heal. Good body block there. And I try and bait the ball, doesn't work, but It worked the second time. So I see a psychologist running, and I just warp over to her so I can get the chair off. Easy down. And then the barmaid is right next to me. So from here it's just a pretty clear-cut win, just down the barmaid. She rescues just down one of them. She had a pretty good escape here. I fuck up the mind game a couple times, but that's alright. She used the flywheel, which honestly I think is kind of overkill, but you know. So here I actually go for the barmaid instead of the psychologist, because the barmaid can heal herself, the psych can't, and I don't want to deal with her healing herself and having to two-hit someone again. So I think yeah, you can see the batter over on the right. I didn't see that at the time, so I'm just thinking, wow, free low. This is, I can stop trying. This is an easy one now. So here I don't hit her because of that. I just think, oh, she's gonna surrender. And then now I notice, and I'm like, holy shit. But Impulsive, like always, has got my back. God, I fucking love Impulsive. But yeah, that was a good game. And yeah. So, most hunters, not just Nightwatch, need to have the skill to drive survivors where they want to go, and keep them away from good kiting areas if they can. So right here, I spawn above night because I know this is not a good kiting area. So I want to start chasing him here. Right now I notice he tries the transition, and notice that I'm going to the left side, so he has to go back in here. Because I don't want him to go to the other kiting area, because he's going to try transition into main building, and I don't want to do that. I get the clean hit off, and he's dropping pellets. And again, I'm going to the right, because he's going to try and transition into ruins, and I don't want him to do that. He gets some good helmets, but I have a lot of win tokens. I can hop pallets for quite a while, and my slows back up, and he's just going to go down here. Right now I'm just breaking pallets, because those are really good pallets. I don't want him to have those. And right now I'm going to check the Dr. Cypher. Yeah, it's shaking, so I know she's still working on it. Thought about the warp, but it's really close. I didn't think it was worth it. I'm checking the other ciphers to make sure that they're cutting. Oh, she went. She gets a decent rescue off. He gets a really good pallet hit on me. And what I love doing against Knight is using Impulsive and long hitting so I can get the attack off before he uses his helmets. Again, Doctor is hiding. I didn't turn off positions yet because I think this is funny too. You can see Doctor hiding by the locker. Obviously I don't know that she's there, but I saw her run over here, so I know she's somewhere around here. She just fucking walks around and I didn't see her because I'm blind. Oh my god. But I get an early hit. I get that warp down really good. And then I get a little greedy here. I try and down the Doctor as well. And it works out. So right now I'm just trying to discern where the survivors are coming from. Mainly the cheerleader. I know that the Mind's Eye is not coming to save. I want to know where the cheerleader is coming from. So I'm trying to long guard, but I'm trying to like medium guard right now. So I see her and she's sprinting at it. I didn't hit her at first because I kind of wanted to try and terror shock her. I think she fucked it up. I think she 99'd the chair, so it ends up just getting a free down for me. Some angry pings there, low-key deserved. It is what it is. And it's great now, because now I know where the Mind's Eye is. She just popped her Cypher, so I know where she's going to come from. She doesn't get that flywheel off. And it's just an easy down, because it's Mind's Eye. What is she gonna do about it, right? But, yeah, that's it. Good game. So pretty often in games, you're gonna find yourself in a spot where you go for a harasser first. And that's okay. Honestly, I rather like going for harassers first, because if you don't, that means they're gonna be a problem later in the game. And if you go for them right away, you just kinda get that out of the way. So here you see me going for the archer first. Even though there is a batter, I find going for archer a lot easier than batter. And I mess up the mind game with the pallet. That's okay, I still end up getting the hit. Now, the only place we don't want her to go is to the tree swings. So that's probably the worst place that anyone can go on this map. That's okay, it doesn't look like she's gonna be able to get there. And you just need to have patience when it comes to Archer, because she's gonna use her crossbow, and you just have to wait it out, and you'll end up getting the hit. Now here I'm just looking for ciphers, trying to see who's decoding and who's not. It's a bit trickier though, because they have a Luca up, ignore that. It's a bit trickier though, because they have a Luca. And the batter comes the save, Archer gets a good shot off. There's the pallet. I have 2 speed tokens, so I think I feel confident enough that I can just chase her and loop her for a little bit. She goes to her batter, which is what she should be doing. He doesn't hit me for some reason. He definitely should have though. Right now he's already injured, so that's good for us. So I can just dash straight to him and just get the down. I'm just gonna chair both of them, because he's right here and I just happened to pick him up first. I'm gonna be completely honest, if I picked up the archer first, I don't even know if I was gonna chair him. I probably wouldn't have. Just, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with mech. This is just silly stuff that we do. Oh, she didn't get her flywheel. Get the suck, and she doesn't get the save, which is massive. Luca's here though. I think he gets the save. Yeah. I didn't swing there because I was just watching the chair timer, and I just wanted to try and terror shock him. It's okay. I had a lot of speed tokens, so she got down pretty easily. Chairing mech, so she can't self-heal and they have to go save her. Now, I still see Tinnitus is up, so I'm still a bit wary of Luca, but I didn't immediately see him, so I felt like it was pretty safe to pick her up. We baited the ball again, nice. So here I have a choice on who I can go for. I can go for the batter or the mech. Oh, or the Luca. I did not see the Luca at the time. Holy shit. But I choose the mech because I'd rather disrupt decoding, and I know batter's probably just gonna try and harass anyway. So this is the most efficient way to go about things. Here I have a lot of win tokens, so I feel comfortable just spamming them and hopping pallets. I see batter, and so I know he's gonna try and harass. So I have 2 options. I can either just down him, or get him so far away that he can't hit me with his ball. Looks like the latter option is going to be what happens, and I end up getting the chair off. He's still hanging around though, so obviously I'm going to try and down him before he gets the rescue, but I don't think it's going to happen because he got healed, he's full health, which is not something I noticed at the time. Bait the ball again, get the hit, and he definitely gets that rescue off. It is gonna get him down though. I go for the double down on mech, which is pretty easy since she doesn't have anything to kite with right now. So that cipher that's being decoded right now kind of like threw me off, because I thought there was like a mech bot there or something. I forgot they had a Luca for a second, so I was so confused. And now I'm just gonna start looking for dungeon spawns, because it's the end of the game, nothing's really gonna happen other than dungeon. So I checked the one that's by the tree houses, and then I forgot there's one to my right actually. And I noticed my tinnitus is on, so I know he's around here somewhere. So I just checked the last dungeon location that I'm aware of. So the dungeon does end up being here. So is Luca. I try and go for the hit, he stuns me, and then he goes high, I go low. I try and hit him away from the dungeon, but he ends up getting it. Which is okay. Yeah, good game. I say a lot of the time that the two ways that Nightwatch wins is cheeky endgame and downing someone before the save. I don't think I ever made a video dedicated to that, so I kind of want to just make one. Here you're going to see me down someone that's trying to save, and I think I also just had good endgame. I mean, not the best, like, it wasn't like super great, but you know. And I was thinking about doing a series on endgame, because I think endgame is like super important, and I've been asked about it quite a bit. Just let me know if you guys want to see something like that. Or not. It's okay. I was so surprised when that didn't hit. By the way, I really thought that was gonna hit. But don't worry though, she definitely gets hit here. And notice that I don't hit her right away even though I can, because I want to make sure I get that win token. And again, making sure I get that double hit with warp. Pulse of being goaded. That was kind of super risky though, because if she had flywheel, that would have been so bad. Luckily she didn't though. That I just kind of went balls to the wall and said, you know what, either you have flywheel or you don't. And now I'm just breaking that window down. I could have left one charge up on the window, but I don't want her to get any speed boosts from it, because I'm pretty sure now that she has like broken windows or knee jerk, she didn't have flywheel. There's no reason to hit her anymore. I already got full presence. That's something you should be doing, by the way. Getting presence on someone who has tile already. Okay. So this is where the money happens. I sounded so old saying that. Fuck. Wow, look at that amazing hit that I just got. So good. Doesn't go for any pallets really. I don't know what his plan was. I kind of drove him to a corner. He should have looped that area though, but it was kind of just a rough situation for him. But you see, I went back to check that no one was trying to save her. No one was, so I just went to go pick up the painter. Now I'm just trying to harass the cipher and make sure it doesn't get decoded. Yeah, I'm not super good at getting Pharaoh Lady. As you'll see later on. That warp was super good because it guaranteed that first officer had to use his pocket watch. Put a painting down. I'm kind of committing to this a little bit. I don't know if I should. It ends up working out, but being results oriented isn't always the best. Like, even though I do get him down there, I don't know if that was the best decision to make. I think it is. You know what I'm thinking? I think it is. I think that was good. Cypher's Prime, though, I knew that because I saw her decoding a little bit ago. Now I just want to make sure no one can get the save. I see some scratch marks, so now I know where both of them are. I wait for my cooldown to be up, and then I down him. Now here, I have exit path. I don't know why it wasn't showing, but I could see that Pharaoh was coming for the save, and so I left first officer even though he didn't have any items, because Pharaoh was going to go for the save. So I went back to Painter and made sure that First Officer wasn't close, so that I could just let him die and go on the Pharaoh. Then I just dash over to the Pharaoh and secure the win. And you see I'm using a dash here, because there's a dungeon spawn if she were to keep going, and I don't want her to get that. And I just got the down. Yeah, good game. Today I just want to show you guys some game highlights from some games that I didn't really want to make a whole video dedicated to them, but I still really liked some parts of the game, so I wanted to show those. But yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Oh, baby, a triple!
Yeah, thanks for watching. So I don't normally spawn here. I normally spawn top right and chase whoever's in Shack, but I thought Novelist was going to be in Shack, so I spawned here, and I was just going to chase wherever the lawyer went, because I thought that'd be a bit easier. You're going to see that lawyer, the only survivor who should know my location at all times, accidentally ran into me, which I thought was kind of funny. And then if you notice, after he gets hit, I'm looking at the window to see which way he went. And since he went down to Walker's, I can just go out the door. And then I use my speed boost at the same time as my wind, so I can get that extra speed while I'm slowing him down. You notice if I didn't do that, he probably would have made that pallet too. Something I need to get better at as a hunter is realizing that when I down someone, then the survivor starts to move for the rescue. So you can't see right now, but First Officer is just hiding behind a tree by the water tank, and he was standing there for a while after I watched the replay back. He didn't get his flywheel, and I just got the hit. Here I'm trying to suck him so I can get an extra hit for presence, but he just goes down, which, you know, it's okay. First Officer is probably on his way again, and once again I'm gonna be blind and not see him. I'm checking for ciphers though. I see the middle one is not done, and I'm gonna be honest, if he didn't use his ability, I never would have saw him and he would just got a free save. I have no idea how that didn't hit. I still feel like that should have hit. So here he's body blocking. I think, I don't need to hit him, and then I was like, nah, it's probably a good idea to injure him. It's just a free hit. Now it's my turn to be blind. The lawyer, you could see, went through that little gap. I didn't notice that at the time, though. That's okay, because he didn't get that pallet. And that's first kill. And ciphers aren't too bad for this situation, actually. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it's actually a pretty good situation. And then I go to middle cipher because I know there's progress on it. and then I see some scratch marks, but I look over to my right and I see the novelist healing the first officer, so I go for the first officer because he's already injured. Two things that help with hitting people that are invisible is long hitting and trying to feel for the survivor. What I mean by that is, like, if your movement ever feels impeded when you think it shouldn't be, swing. Also, something you notice throughout the game is that first officer, I can, like, see little line segments through walls, and I think that's him. I don't know if that's a bug in-game, or if that's something that is just on the recording, but I can see that little line segment through walls. I'll circle it with like a blue circle or something every time I see it. And here I'm downing the novelist first, so that he can't harass. And then I just get a free kill on first officer. Here I'm just trying to not only stop the self-heal, but maybe get a free hit. I drop him down so he doesn't struggle out. I just get that hit, and here you're going to see me down the meteorologist again for the same reason. I dodge the wind, and I walk the pallet and get the down. They get the heal off, but I bait the pallet. And here, I'm actually... because they're both down and one can self-heal, and they'll self-heal the other, I'm actually going to grab the novelist and put him on a chair. And I know the last cipher it shouldn't have much progress, so I feel comfortable doing this, and if I ever see a cipher shaking too much, I still have my warp up. Meteorologist got up. I debated going over to her, but I think I just want a chair guard for now. That is until she starts healing herself, and then I beeline it over to her so I can just get that down real quick. So she does get that wind off, and now she can't self-heal, and I'm just going back with warp. Now again, I'm blind and I can't find him. Because I don't know, like, I don't know what direction he's coming from. Meteorologist can't self-heal, so I just figure it's safe just to stay right next to the chair. There's no reason to do any risky plays. End up catching him out and get the down. Yeah, good game. This is my first video on endgames. One person did ask for this in my last video at the time of making this, so shout out to that one person because I wanted an excuse to do this anyway. This is also my first game of the week, so I don't play optimally at the start of this game, but it gets a lot better. The first chase is a little rough though, so it's not like Seer does bad or anything, it's just I don't do good. If that makes sense. Nothing too crazy has happened so far. And I'm not going to hit that bird because it just would let him transition. I don't want that. So instead I just wait it out. And he gets a really good flywheel off. Unfortunately, doesn't really help him that much because he's in an ass area. I'm sure I'm just checking for ciphers. When you are checking ciphers, I usually like to stand still and check for them like that, because it's really hard to tell something's shaking when you're also walking. Oh god. Yeah, I missed quite a few times. It was pretty bad. But that's okay. I eventually got it. We take those. And he just got farmed. He got instant hit. And then I get an extra hit for presence. I know I have Tinnitus up, but I want to break this so he can't run to it, because that would be really bad, because then I have to use my warp, and I don't want to use my warp if I can help it. Yeah, Gravekeeper goes for the second save because he's already there. Gravekeeper's doing really good, actually. He's doing his job. He's supporting even though he's half, which is ballsy, but it works out for him. Alright, here is where I feel like the end game's kind of getting started. There's 2 ciphers left, but someone's dead. I feel like endgame kind of starts when someone's dead, or the ciphers are all popped. Arbitrary measurements that I just came with right now, so don't hold me to that. I was chasing the Gravekeeper, but I was also trying to go to this cipher, because I know it's being worked on. So now I'm just trying to get the Priestess, because now Gravekeeper has to go all the way to another cipher, or to code this one, which would also be bad for him, because Priestess is right here. So she gets that good dodge. And I'm waiting for Flywheel because I don't know if she has it. I just eventually hit though. They usually will just Flywheel right away once you get next to them. I suck him out of Shovel. Instead of continuously chasing the Priestess, I switched over to the Gravekeeper because now they can't stay on this cipher and Priestess has to go all the way to the other cipher, which has a little progress, right? I took note of that earlier. But now Luca has to save, and I know exactly where Luca is coming from because he just popped his cipher. So I'm just gonna run over to him and cut him off. I get that long hit so he doesn't Flywheel or shock me. He does have a Flywheel here. And I hop the pallet. I try to suck, but he ends up shocking me. That's okay. Then notice here, I hit him away from the chair. So I hit him away from the chair in case it was primed. I didn't think it was, but just in case it was primed, I did that. And it's always good to do that if you can. If you can't, you know, it is what it is, but it's good practice. But yeah, good game. I think maps that have like interactable things like Moonlit or Eversleeping are kind of silly. They can be frustrating at times, but I think overall they're fun for like quick match and stuff. But here I just start chasing the lucky guy. You're gonna notice that I'm double backing. That's because I know he saw me go after him, so he wouldn't look any further. So I'm just cutting him off right now. So here he's gonna try and flashlight me, but I don't think he's used to how fast Nightwatch can vault things. And then that was not something I saw coming at. When I saw that first coming to me during the actual game, I was fucking screaming. I did not expect that to happen at all. By the way, this is like my favorite chair on this whole map, because this is such a bad chair to save from. I noticed the Seer Bird too late, and I accidentally ended up hitting it, which ended up working out, so that's cool. I speed boost before I lose my abilities, so I'm able to get him down. I was looking for the exit to the portal, but I didn't realize the portal was actually pretty bad. I have no idea how I hit the chair. That was crazy. So here, Antiquarian is gonna try and smack Lucky Guy out of my hands. And I noticed the tram here, so I'm just like, I'll just fucking wait for the tram. The tram will body block for me. From enemies to lovers, on God. I stand the tram. And then I just warp over to the closest cipher, which just happens to be Priestess. Lucky for me. It was a 50-50, so. I waited for Flywheel before I hit. Antiquarian had a good save though. She didn't actually get hit, so she can save again if she wants, which you'll see that she does. I had tinnitus for a while, but I didn't see her coming from any of the long paths, so I just assumed she's gonna come from one of the sides. Again, really good save from Antiquarian. She did so good this game. Still looking at that flywheel. I don't know how I got that. I feel like she should have got that flywheel off, but it helped me. So now Seer has to go for the save. I didn't actually notice where he was decoding. I didn't pay attention to ciphers enough, so I don't know where he's coming from. He just takes the hit. So when it comes to winding around a corner, you actually want to wind it up before you turn the corner, so that the second you turn the corner, it sucks. And I get a little greedy for that Seer down, but not too greedy. I know the Cypher shouldn't be close to primed, because she still has to run over to the other Cypher. Which, to be honest, I still don't know which one it is. I think it's the one near Geisha House. Yeah, I just confirmed it's not the one near Graveyard, so now I know for sure it's the one at Geisha House. You guys are gonna see me bait a pallet in a second right here. You guys really should learn how to bait pallets. It gets you so many free hits. Yeah, good game. A huge part of the game is learning how to bait pallets and learning when to just walk through them. You'll see that with my chase with Doctor. I have to get her both on a full commit and on a pallet bait. I just kind of want to talk about my thought process of when I do a pallet bait versus when I just go through them. It's a very nuanced subject though, so this is not going to be for every case scenario. This is just going to be the things that I'm thinking about for this specific game, which hopefully will help you guys later on. On top of that, I had some pretty decent endgame knowledge at the end as well, so figured double whammy video, what the hell. I hear her, so I fucking start to wind. She gets a good dodge. She gets 2 good dodges, actually. I end up getting that hit, though. And here you're gonna see a pallet mind game. I go for that pallet bait, but she's just healing, so I figured, fuck it. She probably does this a lot, and hunters never end up going through, so I'm just gonna walk through right now. I'm gonna use a speed boost so she has less time to react to it, and smack her down. Into the Priestess portal, so it's pretty obvious to tell where they're coming from. It's a Merc, he's gonna pad, but he didn't quite make it through the pallet, so I get an easy suck on him. Decent save, died, but she ends up getting hit right away, which is unfortunate for her. I'm gonna try and get some extra presence off of her, but she ends up going down. And that's okay. Oh yeah, they just came from around. I was fucking blind. They came from the other side, so I didn't see that. So you see right there that she's hiding right by that pallet, so I know she's gonna try and throw it on me, so I have to bait this one. Notice that half the hits that I got Doctor with were pallet mind games. So I'm going over to this direction because I can see that the Cypher in 2 story is almost done, and the one next to me isn't being decoded at all, so I'm going over to the other 2 that I see, and because I have Tinnitus, and Priestess probably went in that direction-ish, because she's the one who saved. Pre-drops the pallet, but now she has nowhere to go. Honestly, I probably could have vaulted that, but that's okay. I'm choosing the chair over here so they stop decoding, and now they're gonna have to choose another Cypher machine to start. This one's pretty far, so it's going to be really rough for them. I saw some scratch marks leading over here. Can avoid that slow ball. Then he gets a good flywheel, and then I get an easy hit after that. Easy down. I see that the Merc is still decoding, so I chair. And I know that the decoding hasn't gone too far along, so I feel comfortable just chasing this. I ignore that, I thought I had the other speed boost on. He messes up his fireball. Now I'm going back because while I was chasing the acrobat, I know the Merc would be coming to save. Don't get the terror shock, but that's okay. Here, honestly, I should have just hit. I was too cautious. I didn't need the extra speed boost. And then I just surrender. But, yeah, good game. When playing Hunter, it's super important to plan ahead of time, so your reaction speed will be that much quicker when something does happen, and you've already thought about what to do when that kind of thing happens. As an example, something that I planned but didn't end up happening. At the start of the game, I knew that Patient spawned here, and Patient is really good on Big Boat, so I thought there was a pretty good possibility that he might transition to Big Boat, where Luca spawned. And I told myself, if he does that, right, then I'm just going to switch on to Luca, because he brought me straight to Luca. That obviously didn't happen, so I just started chasing him like normal. Around when he started running to that area, I knew he was probably going to try and hop through the window to get onto Small Boat. So I thought to myself, if he does that, my work will be up, and I can just follow him and get an easy gun, because we won't be expecting it. Now, that's also super risky, because what would have happened if he made that window? I don't have any speed boosts, and I have one wind, no presence. It would have been really bad, and this would have been a very different game. I bring him to Shack Chair instead of the one that was closer to me, because he has one hook left, and that hook is a lot stronger in that area than it is over at Shack. So here I see someone was decoding, I go to break the connection because now they have to actually go decode that cipher instead of just having Luca do it. Here you're going to see me hop the pallet without a speed boost. That's on purpose, so I can catch them off guard here. Now I notice that 2 people are here instead of just that one. I see him hiding at that pallet, so I know I can easily just turn and swing and it'll hit him. Now I just have to down that batter before I try and pick up the Patient. So I know you can't see it during this replay, but Patient's not healing, by the way. He kind of fucked up. I think he was tilted, but he is not healing at all. Alright, so now that I see that Acrobat is decoding over there, batter's on the ground, I feel comfortable taking him to basement. Also, you're gonna see me do something in a second. I'm sure most people know about it, but just in case you don't, when a hunter does a hit and they're falling at the same time, there is no hit recovery. So I see him at the window, and I'm already planning on doing that. And I plan on doing it, so my reaction time is a lot better than if I just winged it. And there I was just checking for batter, because I don't want to get fucking smacked. And there I heard of the coding and I felt a lot safer about doing this. And the rest of the game is just clean up, so I'm just gonna put it on a faster speed, except for a couple parts where I felt really cool. Really close hit. Checking for ciphers again, see he's not decoding. I'm looking for the Luca going for the save. Once again doing that turn hit. So I'm just going over to the Acrobat to make sure the batter's not saving. He's not. So now I go back to the batter where he was decoding. I break the connection so Luca can't do both ciphers. Here I'm going to slow it down because I felt really cool. Bait the ball, wait out the flywheel, and then hit it down. And for some reason, Luca is still decoding. I don't know why. He's literally announcing his location to me, which I'm a fan of. Just breaking pallets because I don't need to rush. I can take my time with the kill. And then one last sneaky little pallet bait there. But yeah, good game. This game, I end up going for the Knight instead of the Acrobat because I fucking hate chasing Acrobat. On God, his kit, I feel like on paper seems like it would be really bad, but it is so good. It is actually crazy. I don't understand why it's good. It just feels like it shouldn't be, but it is. Anyway, yeah, here I am, chasing the Knight, playing Ring Around the Rosie. Most obvious double hit predict of my life. Clean first hit. I take Confined on every single map, so vaulting that is worth it, even though I don't have a speed boost. And here, I actually thought this was going to be a hit predict as well. So I just waited until it ran out, and then I immediately smacked. But, you know, he got half damage, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. Just breaking the pallets so we can't loop this area. Nightwatch gets looped surprisingly easily. More than you would think. Let's get that pallet bait. And easy down into dungeon. Basement. Fuck. I call dungeon basement all the time. I don't know why. I don't know if anyone else does that. Clearly Acrobat is here to save. I like the chair in the very back, but I didn't want him to shuckle free because I was carrying him for quite a bit. Good ball. Good flywheel, that was cracked. That was me holding warp because I fucked up. I accidentally pressed the wrong key. I pressed my 3 key instead of 2. So that's what that was. But here I was slowballed, so instead of going for the Knight who was about to go back into a decent hiding area, I just decided to hit the Acrobat and just do another basement save. So what they did here though is it's really good. They just healed the Knight with the Psych, and he's actually hiding near the gate. Obviously I didn't know that at the time, but he's hiding by those little fucking small things by the gate, and he's just waiting for it to be primed. Get a good hit. So the reason I like the very back chair on Nightwatch is because of this. I can pull back super easily, and then I hit him away from the chair, and now he can't save. And I just get an easy down. I actually didn't know for the longest time that you could Terror Shock him out of that. Don't have Tinnitus when I pop out, so I don't think that they're near the gate next to me. So I'm warping over to the other gate, because I know they're going to be there. And note, it is very important that I'm leaving up my warp. It was intentional. She should have looped that area. I think the reason she left is because it's kind of a losing play, like you just die, but it's the tying play as well, just looping me there. Because if she looped me there for just a little bit longer, I wouldn't have made my warp, and they probably would have gotten out. I long hit? I don't know if that was... Maybe I should have short hit, but that's fine. So I see Knight going for the rescue over there on the left. And so I'm carrying her here, and I'm just gonna beeline it over to the Psych chair. I also don't use my suck to get extra dash tokens, because I think I might need it to pull him away from her chair. And he just gives up. I mean, it is over, so... yeah, good game. know it's always tricky, especially when you're going for the decoder first, because this building can be really hard to deal with, especially when they hide, and especially against the lawyer. But it looks like it's not the case this game, which is really nice. And notice I'm not going to use a speed token here, just because I don't feel like that was a very high impact vault. And now I'm just going to switch to a top-down view, just because I feel like it'd be better for what I'm about to show you guys. So he drops this pallet, which makes me think he probably has knee jerk, but I'm not sure yet. I see he's not there, so he probably went back around. And so I'm going to wind him from around the wall. And I don't have to worry about flywheel yet, because I still have a warp cooldown up. If you guys didn't know, warp cooldown and flywheel cooldown at the beginning of the game is the exact same. So if you're ever wondering if they have flywheel, just look at your warp cooldown if you take warp. And the opposite works for if you're a survivor. If you have flywheel, you know if they have warp. I'll just take him to basement because it's here. I don't put him in special chair because I just don't want to risk him struggling free. I slightly see someone in the corner of my eye going to rescue, so I go. Unfortunately, I don't make it before the save. She doesn't quite shoot me, but I'm still keeping an eye on her to see if she follows me. Doesn't look like she is, but you can never be too careful. Just double checking again that she's not following me. So I think about bringing him to the bridge chair for a second, but I decide against it because if Cord goes for the save again, she's gonna get a pretty much guaranteed shot on me. So I go over here so I have some walls to kite around in case she tries to shoot me. I see some scratch marks, so I move in. And he gets a pretty easy save. I don't get that hit, but I get him on the next one. Lawyers are slippery motherfuckers. They're always in the weirdest places. So I kind of lose him for a little bit, but then I get it back. He does pallet stun me, which is unfortunate, but that's going to end up being okay. I can't quite get him from around the wall this time. I get slowed by the acrobat, but realize he used his self-heal, right? It's gonna be super important. Because he had to have got himself up for that. And I make sure I'm not in the pallet when he picks me up, so something like that pallet stun can't happen. Corver's too scared to shoot me. And I see the acrobat in the corner of my eye, and I'm gonna keep note of him. Something that is good about Hunter is that survivors can't see where you're actually looking, they can only see where you're moving. So I'm feigning going for the cord when I'm actually wanting to go for the acrobat. And I get him down, and I remember he used the self-heal, so I can just leave him there. I saw earlier when I had an announcement up where everyone was, so I knew they were going to this gate, so I just worked over there. And I'm looking for Psych right now, because I know she's going to go and try and heal the acrobat. Yep, and there she is. And acrobat is a little bit too far for her. Yeah, good game. So this game I just had a really good early game. Wow, what a novel thing. So I just wanted to show you guys and explain what I was thinking when I was doing things. There's some luck, a lot of skill, because I'm the best. So obviously, I chased the Escapologist first. Nightwatch is really good against him. When you're going against Escapologist, you really just want to use sound. You kind of just gotta treat it like he's invisible, and just go off sound a lot of the time. and look for scratch marks as much as you can, while keeping in mind that if he has a good enough distance against you, he might just walk instead to try and trip you. So here I was just trying to get a wind token. I waited so long because I just wanted a wind token. He vaulted that with so much confidence. Confidence that I aspire to have. I see Mech leaving, and so I know her bot is nearby, and she's transitioning, so she won't be able to do anything when I down her bot. I see the Seer coming for the save. Pretty easy clean hit, but I know he has Bird, so he's definitely gonna get the save off. Good body block. I fucking love that accessory though, that's such a good accessory. Oh, and this warp is so good. You don't always gotta take warp. Sometimes the threat is just enough. That's why warp is so good, because you can use it for so many different things, right? I'm just gonna break this pallet and look for who's going to save. I see that Seer got healed, but that doesn't mean he's gonna save. Dodge the wind, get the hit. Our save was pretty good, but no body block, so I just got a pretty clean hit off him. And then I greed for the down on her. That little swivel I did is because I thought she was gonna toss me back with the wind, but that ended up not happening. It looks like she got a cloud instead. Now I'm taking over to this chair because it's my favorite chair. It's my second favorite chair on the map. I've been slowly realizing that I do have an order of chairs I like on maps. This is my second favorite. The one in the other corner on the other side is my favorite. Rescuing from that chair is so fucking ass. I'm so blind. Right now you can see the Seer on the right in the window. I don't know how I didn't see that. I get caught off guard like, oh my god, how did he get there? But, yeah. This is such a good chair because there's nowhere for her to go now. She has to go for that pallet stun because there's nothing else she can do. And I greed for the Seer. Gets a good flywheel, but it's not good enough. Oh, that was some crazy wind movement I have. I don't know why. I thought she was dead chair. For whatever fucking reason, I thought she was dead chair, so I just leave so confidently thinking, oh yeah, that was a good kill. Good job. And she just gets saved immediately. Well, that's okay. I got so much good early game pressure that doesn't matter. And I saw some scratch marks, so I know she's right behind the rock. Survivors love hiding behind that rock. Yeah, ignore that. Oh yeah, that little turnaround that I did was when I realized Meteorologist wasn't dead. I'm just gonna keep the pressure up by just cherrying the mech. Fourth cipher has a lot of progress, but the fifth cipher should not be too far along. I feint going for the Seer, so Meteorologist feels comfortable saving, and then I go back to the chair. Good flywheel, good wind. It's enough for her to save, but not enough to save herself. It's just pretty easy cleanup from here. I know the last cipher shouldn't be very far, and Seer still has to get to it. I can't really take my time, but I also don't have to worry. So Seer's probably just gunning for dungeon, as he should be. And now I'm just checking the 2 dungeon spawns near me. It's not there, so I warp over to the last one. I break that so I can't get looped. Wait for the flywheel and get an easy down. But yeah, Good game. I decided to play Jack this game. People ask me if I played other hunters. I do play Jack, Lucino, Alva, and obviously Nightwatch. But Jack was actually the first S badge I ever got. I've had 4 S badges before. Jack, Nightwatch, Alva, and Hoster. Hoster is probably the most short-lived S badge I've ever gotten. I think I had it for like 1 week and then it went away. Pretty good start. She's already 1 chip away. The biggest thing to do with Jack is just knowing survivor movements, because you have to hit them through walls. And generally I feel like that skill kind of translates to every hunter. Like playing Jack as my first hunter legitimately helped me so much because it helped me understand how survivors move. So it helps me cut people off and know where they're gonna go, pallet throwing and stuff. And then I warp over to the Cypher because I saw it still moving, so I thought he was still here, but it was just fucking Luca connected to a Cypher. I always forget Luca can do that, and he's already here because he had a big head start. I get a good chip. I fucked that one up though. I accidentally only hit 1 person. I should hit 2. I don't want to get pellets in there, so I just leave. I don't go through it because I want to keep her on this side of the wall, because if I keep her on this side it's a lot harder for her to transition. So you see that I only go over to the other side of the wall when I feel like I can down her, or she's near weak pallets. And that was a very good flywheel by her. Unfortunately it's not going to be enough. Batter did a very risky play there. He was half, so just a regular hit would have downed him, and it did not pay off for him. Now you see Norton's coming for the save. I'm just going to try and down him before he gets it, which Jack can do very easily. Bait the hit, get the down, now he can't self-heal. I go to chair Norton, but I see Luca in the corner of my eye, so I just drop him and defend the priestess just for a little bit. She dies, so I can go back to Norton now. And I want to go for the batter in particular because he can't self-heal and he's already half. So if I get him down, I only have to worry about 2 people. Going for the Luca now because it doesn't matter who I go for, and he's easier to chase. And now it's just pretty easy cleanup. Norton's half and he has to get past me. It's going to be really hard for him to do that. Trick with Norton, if he ever gets you the magnet, try and stay close to a wall. That way the stun duration is shorter. I had a good flywheel, but it's not enough. They do make me chair them. You don't need to see that. But yeah, good game.